Hello, my name is Jocelyn Martinez and I am a third grade general education teacher. I am creating this video as a resource to help guide you through the pamphlet that gives you more information about the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. The IDA is a law that makes available free appropriate public education to children with disabilities. And in this pamphlet, I want to summarize the services that are covered under the IDA. This video is to help those that feel that they have suspicions that their child might have a disability, but also for those people who have children who already have been diagnosed with a disability. And in this pamphlet, what you can find is more information about the services that are provided to students with disability. So in this first column, middle column, you can find more information about how the referral begins, what happens once the referral is approved, and that would be the evaluation process. And it tells you a little bit more about who would evaluate and all the rights for the parent and the student. Then if we keep going down, we see what happens when it is determined that a child has a disability and what are the services that would be provided for them. Okay, if we look at our left column, you can find more information about the free appropriate public education, which is part of the IDA. And this just gives you a little bit more information about the services that your child with disabilities is getting between the ages of 3 and 21. Okay. You can also find more information about what a less restrictive environment is. And just to give you an idea of that, it is something that is put in place to help children with disabilities stay in a general education classroom as much as possible. Okay, if we move down, we learn a little bit more about what the IEP is all about. The IEP is a written statement for children with disabilities that has all of their information, and this can include anything academic, behavioral, goals, services, and in this IEP, we also need to make sure that it is being monitored. For example, the goals, are they being met? And this happens during what is known as an annual review process, which must happen at least once a year. And every member of the IEP must be present. If it is determined that there needs to be more than one IEP at any given time, it can occur during that same year. What happens during this annual review process is that it is determined if the goals are being met, if the child needs to be reevaluated, which should be happening every 3 years, and any changes made for the IEP need to be approved by every member of the IEP team. Okay, if we go down a little bit, we see more information about procedural safeguards. And these are just procedural safeguards that are established to ensure that children and parents with disabilities have all of their rights protected. And this can include rights from parental consent, having access to educational records, and the opportunity to present complaints, for example, if a service is not being met. If we go over here to the right side, we have what is known as a prior written notice, which is given to parents by providers when they are proposing or refusing to start or change a service. And this service could include identification of a disability, evaluation, or placement. And if this prior written notice is given to a parent, it must include the reasons why the service is being refused or postponed or whatever it may be. Okay, if we go down a little bit, we have related services here, which are any support services that are given to the student with a disability that might help the student with their disability. And this can be services like speech, audiology, an interpreter, psychological, physical, and occupational therapy. It may also include assessments, counseling, and rehabilitation. In some cases, these services also expand over to be provided for the family members of the person with a disability. And lastly, we look a little bit about parent and student involvement during this whole process. So parents need to be present during IEPs. If any changes are to be made, the parents need to give consent. And the IEP is an opportunity for the parents to share any concerns that they have. It's also important to involve the students by informing them about their annual goals and the services that they will be given to help them reach those goals. This video is just a summary of the many services that are covered under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. If you want more information about any of these services, processes, you can find it in the following websites. And I hope that this video helps as a starting point for learning more about the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. Thank you for watching.